everybody, how you doing? Real American here. Hope you're all having a good day. So today we have an oldie but goodie classic starting Gary the Sovereign Citizen back from 2014. This gem is unique because it goes in a slow process where we can actually break down each step of the sovereign philosophy, the threats, the kiss up, the excuses, everything. Let's sit back and watch Gary make a complete fool out of himself and learn a few fun things.
Sir?
Yes.
Okay. What is going on? Okay, just so you know, I stopped because your tags are expired.
Did I injure somebody or cause any damage?
No, your registration tags are expired.
So the reason this was stopped is because his tags have been expired. By law, you need to have all your documentation up to date, license, insurance, registration, including your tags. This is the reason why he was stopped.
I'm not operating in commerce, sir.
Okay. Do you have your license, registration, and proof of insurance?
I would. I don't. What is the purpose of this stop?
Your registration tags expired in August of 13.
Do you understand that I'm not operating in commerce right now?
I don't care.
Actually, you should care because it's a constitutional right that I have to travel freely without being stopped for a statutory infraction that you do not have.
So what's going on here is that he's confusing or misunderstanding traveling with driving. The Constitution does give you the right to travel freely anywhere in the world. It's how you travel that's the issue. Driving is not regulated or protected by the Constitution. It is a privilege, not a right. That's what the basis of his argument is. If you are driving, you are subject to the laws of that state. The states regulate the driving laws for their states. The federal government has little to no real influence in this, and that is where his problem is.
Am I free to go?
No. I need your license, registration, and insurance.
Are you holding me against my will?
No. I'm not holding you against your will. What I'm doing is I stopped you for a traffic violation, and I need your license, registration, and insurance.
So we never find out if Gary is just mentally disabled, if he's just a little slow in the head, if he's under the influence or needs medications or anything. So basically, this is a red flag because if he's acting like this, indication of some kind of a mental disorder or something like that. The police officer, in his defense, is being extremely patient, but the way you see in this video, he's reaching around a lot for everything, and it's just a potentially dangerous situation for the police officer. And of course, he can't be a sovereign citizen without all the 10 tons of worthless paperwork.
Whatever you need, code one is fine.
I have.
No, code word.
Can I have your identification, please, sir?
My name is Deputy Ainsworth, as is on my uniform. I'm with the Jackson County Sheriff's Office. Okay? I need your license and registration. If you don't provide it, you will be under arrest for failure to provide proof of your license. Alright?
So basically, this guy is reaching out for all this information that's going to be useless to him. He thinks that getting the name and badge number is going to give him some kind of a magical power over the deputy. And again, he's reaching around for everything that moves, which is to me, I'm uncomfortable with because you don't know when he's going to be reaching for a gun. So this, again, has always been very patient, but really at this point, he should at least have that door open and be covered, not sitting with his arms crossed, just watching this guy do whatever he does.
You're going to arrest me?
If you don't provide your proof,
Are you threatening to arrest me?
I'm not threatening you. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Okay?
So
I need your license. If you don't want to provide that, I will arrest you for fail to provide your license.
My apologies.
I have to assume that I'm under arrest right now because I'm not free to leave.
You're stupid.
I am evoking my right against self-incrimination, and I will not be providing you with any documents that can be used against me to incriminate myself. Do you want to violate my right of self-incrimination?
So at this point, he's just yammering a bunch of BS. Really, you're in a traffic stop. The Fifth Amendment doesn't have much say in it. You can't invoke self-incrimination. None of that stuff applies to a traffic stop. Once you're arrested, then you can invoke your Fifth and your right to prevent self-incrimination. But right now, you're at a traffic stop. It's an investigation. He has no standing to use any of that documentation or that saying at all. He's just rambling a bunch of garbage at this point.
Because that's what you're doing, sir.
Okay? I have a legal right to stop you because your registration is expired. You are required by law to provide me with some form of identification. Okay? If you do not do that, you will be under arrest.
I have right to legal counsel.
Not at this point. Okay?
Yes, I do have right to legal counsel, sir. You
You
can't take my rights away.
If you don't want to obey the law right now,
I am obeying the
speak
law.
with your attorney in jail.
That's literally how it works. You cannot contact your lawyer and say, hey, I'm at a traffic stop, come save me. Your right to an attorney takes place after you've been arrested. During a traffic stop, doesn't exist, or there's very little authority here. It is a stall tactic that they're going to be using a lot to say, well, I want to call my lawyer, my lawyer's going to scare you, and you're going to walk away and leave me alone. There's nothing the lawyer can do for you except say, cooperate, give them the documentation, and we'll worry about this in court later on. But no, it's not common sense here.
Okay?
You're threatening to kidnap me and put me in jail? Do you have a signed warrant to take me to jail? Where's my due process, sir? Do you not need a signed warrant from a judge to arrest me?
Wow, the land of make-believe.
No, I'm not sure where you're from, but I do not. Okay?
I will hold you under full commercial liability and your bond in a criminal matter.
This is a common threat tactic. They're trying to scare the police officer saying, well, I'm going to take all your money and your home and your house and away because you inconvenienced me. It is a scare tactic. 99.9% of the times, you guys that do try and go to court lose. The sad part is that the officer has to spend some of his own money to defend himself in court. When the judge says you got to pay him back, they never see a dime. But this is a typical scare tactic. In the end, they almost never win.
Should you proceed with this stop any further,
fine.
sir?
Are you going to cooperate or not?
Sir, with all due respect, I mean you no harm. I mean you no. There will be no violence. Please, God's peace be with you.
So this is now him trying to suck up to the police officer because he's realizing that the threat did not work. So again, they say, well, we mean peace, love, and happiness. In reality, they're just trying to kiss your rear end to hopefully get out of the ticket.
Okay.
What's the thing? That's it, Copy, thank you.
Can we get a supervisor here, sir?
I absolutely.
Thank you. Speak with your supervisor.
There's nothing the supervisor can do. He's going to come in there and say, license, registration, insurance. He's going to say no. He's going to say, pull him out, hook him up, take him to jail, and that's all the supervisor's going to say and do. He's going to back the police officer because the police officer is completely in the right. Gary's completely in the wrong. Again, another stall tactic.
Yes, hey Gene, this is Gary. See, I'm in the Walmart parking lot. Are you law enforcement or are you peace officer?
51 copy.
Are you safety officer or are you law enforcement?
I am law enforcement. I am with the Jackson County Sheriff's Office.
So, this is the thing that the game they play is the peace and law enforcement. Technically, they're the exact same thing. Back in the old days, the Old West, there was a peace officer, usually like a constable or a sheriff or a marshal. Then there was law enforcement. There was also police and sheriffs. I don't know how they got separate names, but basically, a sheriff is a sheriff, police officer is a police officer, a marshal is a marshal. They're all law enforcement and they're all peace officers. They keep the peace. That's their job. It's their job to enforce the laws and keep the peace. Hence, law enforcement and peace officer. In the end, they're both the exact same thing. There is no real distinction.
Have someone from law enforcement performing a traffic stop. He's threatened to arrest me if I don't show him a driver's license, registration, and insurance. The reason for this stop is expired registration tag.
Yes.
And the fun thing about all these sovereign lawyers, many of them aren't actual practicing lawyers. They either failed the bar, didn't take the bar, or just pretending to be a lawyer, thinking that, well, I have to follow the rules. And in the end, really, they're not lawyers. And a lot of these guys end up never going to court because the lawyer has no authority. The judge just either throws them in jail for practicing law without a license, or they know they're going to get arrested, so they don't even try. They try to settle out of court. Ultimately, though, these lawyers don't accomplish anything or making a bad situation worse. They're not actual lawyers. They don't know the law.
Then the state has no more authority over the vehicle if the registration is not current. You're aware of this, right? What you're trying to do? Are you aware of the law?
I'm pretty familiar with the law, yes.
Pretty familiar with the law. Well, this is going to go a lot further than pretty familiar, so please be cautious in what you do, that you don't violate my rights in trying to enforce statute. So where are we at, Gene?
We're at the point where you're about to go to jail, and because this idiot on the phone is not going to do anything to help you because he has no power in a traffic stop. He has to go to court to have any authority. And since, again, all these guys aren't even actual lawyers, they're just more con artists trying to get a quick buck, Gary's just making a bad situation worse for himself.
Private register a vehicle, and it depends on the use that's being made of the vehicle. If it's used for private travel and communication, it's not required to be timely registered. So it wouldn't have to have any tabs on it.
This is my contention, sir.
I can't hear him. I'm not going to chat with him. I'm talking to you. Okay?
Yeah. And the thing to do there probably is just jot down some notes, get the officer's name and badge number, and make sure that you get all that information so that he can be sued in his private capacity for exceeding his authority and jurisdiction.
So again, it's another scare tactic, and this lawyer You can tell he doesn't even know what to do. He's caught off guard. Maybe what the real lawyer, he would be telling this guy, don't resist, hand over all your documentation, take the ticket, we'll go to court and we'll fight it in court. We're not going to do this in the parking lot of a Walmart. So this lawyer is just a complete con man.
Correct.
This authority and jurisdiction is set out very clearly in 153, 39, and 83. So when he exceeds that authority and he has to live that you are an employee working for some corporation and engaged in trafficking on the highway. So right there in itself, he's made an illegal stop.
Yeah.
So he's detained you in your liberty of travel, and he doesn't have valid probable cause to do that simply because he sees a vehicle that has a license on that's expired.
So again, you have the right to travel. It's how you're traveling that's the issue. This man is driving a vehicle with registration tags are expired. That's the ground for a stop, and that is a valid, legitimate ground. Even the Supreme Court said the valid reason to stop a vehicle. He's trying to get out of a ticket, or he is mentally disabled. I don't know which. But the lawyer's giving him all the wrong information. This guy, again, is not a lawyer probably. And poor Gene's either too stupid or too inexperienced to deal with this. And it's only going to get worse for him.
Without determining the use that the vehicle's being put to, that may or may not be required to be titled and registered. That changes with every new vehicle owner.
Right.
Just get some notes and
Sir,
see what he wants
sir,
to do.
can you hang up the phone, please?
No, I'm with my counsel now. Please don't try to deprive me of counsel, sir.
You don't have access to counsel because your lawyer has no authority in a traffic stop. He has to do that in court. So the police officer showed an extreme patience with this guy, a little too much actually. He's just indulging this guy too much. At this point, she just taken the phone, put it on the roof of the car, took the guy out of the car, and just arrested him right then and there. He's being very patient and very lenient with this guy, more than he should.
Please.
I've been very patient with you.
Yes, you have.
You have,
Okay?
sir.
I have a legal right to stop you. Like I said, you are required to provide your license, okay, or proof of identification. Okay? If you're refusing to do that, you will be under arrest. Okay?
He will be arresting me should I not provide him with this information.
Well, he wants you to identify yourself, and this is his authority. He's claiming his authority for that is his power under the vehicle code. And as I say, document everything that he's saying, and have him write it down, because even at a traffic stop,
Again, we don't know what's really wrong with Gary. He's just slow in the head or from the disabled, but the police officer just sort of walks away and leave him be. Talk to his other deputy, I guess. During this time, he's unsupervised. He could be reaching for a gun instead of trying to adjust his camera. This is what makes these stops scary. If you don't watch these people, police officers get killed from things like this. So really, you should have had his friend stand next to him while they're watching him to avoid something like that happening. This is a bad judgment call on the police officer.
not authorized to compel you to identify yourself, and that's Delaware versus Browse. So he's alleging that you're engaged in trafficking, so he has a right to demand a driver's license.
So many of these cases, they say that they win in court. It's not true. A lot of them is because the police may have made a bad decision, but the grounds for the stop was valid. The request of your license, registration, etc., may have been valid. A lot of times, they just throw old court laws and rules after they've been replaced, revised, or removed in order to justify their actions. But it's April 15, 2014. Everything the officer requested is perfectly legal. The reason for the stop is legal. The request for documentation is illegal. Gary is the one in violation of the law all the way so far. And his lawyer, again, is just going to be a complete moron, telling him all the wrong things.
This is exactly what they do in this Ponzi scheme called the driver's licensing scheme.
Okay. Okay.
Just get his information, see what he wants to do. You gotta value
please cooperate. All right. As
I'm
stated,
cooperating as best I can with
my name is Deputy Ainsworth. I am with the Jackson County Sheriff's Office.
Gene, I'll get back
I
to
am
you.
in uniform, displaying a badge. All right.
Seems
I
like we
stopped
get a better lawyer
you
than Gene.
because your registration tags are expired. You are required by law to provide me with proof of identification. If you cannot do that, you will be under arrest for failing to do so. Do you understand?
No, I don't understand.
You need to step out of the vehicle.
I
You need to step out of the vehicle. You are
I
under
do
arrest.
not feel safe, sir. Please don't.
Step out of the vehicle.
Please,
You are under
sir.
arrest.
Sir, step out.
Wait.
Don't
Step out
pull
of the vehicle.
away from me.
Please.
Do
You're
not
harming
pull
me.
away from me.
Please. You're.
Don't pull. Relax your arms. Relax your arms.
They are as relaxed as I can be. You're holding them up and hurting my shoulder. I have injuries.
Yep, there we go. There's the old classic, I'm disabled, I have an injury, this and that BS excuse. But don't worry, there is a quick punchline at the end of this video.
Please, sir, do not hurt me further.
We're not. Stop resisting.
Here it comes.
Cooperate. That's all we're asking.
Well, my cooperation, please understand that I realize it'd be easier if I just produced this. However, I feel that.
So as you can see, in the end, Gary realized that he's in deep crap. And you actually hear him say, if I had provided the information early on, I could have avoided all this. So, Gary, no one's fault but your own. Get a better, actually certified lawyer and actually read the traffic laws. In 95% of the states, they're generally pretty similar. There's very little difference between them. And with that being said, guys, have a good one, and I will see you when I see ya. Bye-bye.